to Scream Queen Stream. You probably know me by this point. I'm Jessica Cameron, and if you don't know my guest, the wonderful and talented, fiercely passionate Gigi Saul Guerrero, then you're going to get to know her real quick.
Thank you. You know what I just realized?
What?
I've been looking above and not at the camera this whole time. So if any of you are wondering where she's looking at and all the other things that we've just filmed, now you know.
Surprise! I maybe didn't make that clear. My apologies. As somebody who's been in front of the camera as well as behind the camera, do you have any preferences?
No, that's such a hard question. I mean, don't you think it's a hard question? Like, do you prefer in front of the camera or behind? I just think they're so different and so beautiful in like their own ways. I don't know if I have a preference. Like, right now that I just shot my first feature, it was so rewarding to work with these professional actors from the very beginning of the story to the very end and breaking it down with such pro actors. It was such a rewarding feeling to be a director, you know, and I haven't had that chance. So it almost makes me think, I wonder if now I need to experience what it's like to be an actor from a whole beginning to an end of a feature. Because I think with short films or like my one-day calls on like sirens for, you know, like CW or whatever show I'm on, you know, you kind of get called in to go do the job and that's it.
But there's not a lot of like character.
No, I mean, I haven't had that in a film. I've been in features and whatnot, but again, my characters are smaller or funny or they're quick and then like it's that cameo, Gigi's cameo, you know. Or same with voiceover, you just come in, do the work, that's it. So I wonder if that's going to change my mind into picking one or the other. Because I had never had this chance with a feature until this last one I did. And I was like, wow, directing is really for me. So I think I just have to try it out.
What's nice, I think, when you do a feature as an actor is that you get all of those positives, but then also you're not responsible for anything, right? Like, as an actor, you're just responsible for yourself and your lines. Like, it's like nice to sort of be like part of all the fun. Yeah. And know, like, if anything goes wrong, it's not on you.
Well, yeah, in the technical side, not at all. Like, you as an actor, you are really, like you said, focused on just you. Which is why I think a lot of crew always say, fucking actors, because they're just focused on themselves, but they have to. They're the face of your movie, yo. They have to be in perfect, like, condition of every kind. Like, their atmosphere has to be perfect. They have to be taken like they're delicate flowers. Like, you want them to bloom, you gotta keep watering them, you know? Like, so I mean I got a really nice experience with the last and biggest voiceover work I've done. It was Vita for Super Monsters,
which is adorable.
Thank you. Which is coming out very soon, season 3.
And you are also in the last season. And
I got introduced
on Netflix.
Yes, I got introduced in the last episode of season 2 of Super Monsters. You'll see Vita, and I worked as Vita for a good year. Like, it was a good while, like maybe 10 months. And I mean, again, those episodes are quick and there's a lot of little characters, but I got to really just be this character for a whole year and just keep recording for her. And again, she's a Mexican little character and she's so cute and my voice is like super high pitched. I loved it. I loved going to work. Like, that's such a great feeling. So I mean, yeah, it's still hard for me to choose which one I prefer, but we'll see.
Luckily,
cast me in a feature and then we'll find out.
Luckily, there's time in your schedule to do both. Barely, but you've managed it thus far.
Thus far.
Which is what really matters. But I want to circle back around to the last film that you did, because I know that it's coming out, and I really want to make sure that we give a little bit of context as far as the storyline, whatever you're allowed to say.
Yeah.
You know, and when it's going to be released, and when can people see it. So let's talk about that. I know, obviously, I'm trying to tiptoe because I don't want to say anything that shouldn't be said. So,
thank you. Well, I am so excited to announce my first feature, finally. My first feature called Culture Shock. I was very excited to get this job with Blumhouse. You know, they're responsible for many awesome horror films like Get Out, Halloween, and just a lot of cool stuff. And I'm really excited for Culture Shock to be working with them. It's gonna air on Hulu, 4th of July, on Independence Day, has a lot to do with that, for the series called Into the Dark on Hulu. So mine is basically the 10th installment, so it's the 10th feature of that series. It's crazy cool. It's basically a hybrid of a series, but they're features.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I didn't know what it was either until I looked into it.
No, it's like brand new. Like
do they all have to do with the holiday?
And every month that they throw a new installment, it has to do with that month's holiday. So they've done Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Christmas is still, I think, the most popular one. Puka, it's called. It's really crazy. And yeah, so mine is for 4th of July. And Culture Shock is bilingual too, which is the greatest news I could even like be blessed with. So basically, Culture Shock, you follow these group of Mexican immigrants that want to cross the border for a better life. You think you're watching another Sin Nombre movie. And when they get to America, little did they know that the US government is doing some other plans with the immigrants, so they experience the American dream in a different way. That's as much as I'll say. So definitely it's very current. I'm very nervous. I'm very excited. Nervous because the border crisis problems today are very real. This movie touches extremely on today's president and everything, and just, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I find these kinds of films do a lot for audiences. Like, people will walk out, like, you know, with all kinds of reactions, which again is what I love. And I just wanted to really represent Latinos for not just for like myself, my family, but in the genre. I find we don't have enough Hispanics making genre films that are not just bilingual, but that just have a lot to say of who we are and where we come from. And Culture Shock was the most amazing opportunity. So thank you, Blumhouse and Hulu, for letting me bring this one to screen. So I'm excited.
I will make sure to put the link down in the description box below, and obviously we'll be helping to promote, and you guys should tweet, Facebook, share, all that good stuff. Your voice does matter in 2019. How you make it known to the networks and to the studio execs when you like something is you share it.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about how you jumped from shorts to the feature. And also, I want to make sure that we mention La Quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
The Warner Brothers short. Like, so like how you jumped from shorts to that and then to the feature. We're going to make this really short. We'll definitely have Gigi back because we've got to get this wrapped up. But I know that everyone's like wondering, how did you do that? Yes, please.
Yes. Well, you know, to not make it, I mean, the story is not that crazy, but basically it's just, we were making a lot of shorts. We were making as much name for Lucha Gore as possible, and somebody, and this is why, guys, shorts or festivals is so encouraged. I encourage it for you to do it. Someone from the Warner Brothers division saw, I think it was El Gigante at a festival, and they just happened to go because they were there with a friend, and that's what did it. They were from Warner Brothers division and saw El Gigante and contacted us. From there, we didn't believe it at first. We were like, yeah, like sure, fake person, but they were real. And they basically said, what else do you have? Here's 3 ideas. One of them was La Quinceañera, which all these were, again, ideas for more shorts. La Quinceañera, we wanted to do another short called La Quinceañera, and they just loved it, picked it, we made it. And just from there, which was so unexpected, because we were trying to make El Gigante the feature, which we're still trying to make El Gigante the feature, even though we were getting no everywhere, a yes suddenly happened. You know, you just can't give up. And we made La Quinceañera, did festivals with that, and what was really cool is that festivals were picking up on La Quinceañera, even though it's a web series. Hasn't come out yet, but even though it's a web series, festivals were asking for it all glued back to back so it could be a feature. I think that's so cool. And again, you never know who's watching. So the more you promote yourself, like you're like the queen of promoting yourself. You never know who's following you or who's watching your work.
Well, that's why I say whatever you're going to do, you have to do 100%.
You have
Which again,
to.
like, just because it's a short doesn't mean you don't have to promote it every single day for 2 years. Doesn't mean you don't have to submit it, or you shouldn't submit it to 100 festivals. Doesn't mean you shouldn't pay out of your pocket and go travel to as many of them as you can afford.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's no, like, just because. Like, if you're going to put your time and energy into doing it, make sure that it's something that you love enough to really put your heart and soul in it, in my opinion.
No, it's true. And yeah, so we showed La Quinceañera. From there, I got my agents, manager, and like my team here in LA, and people that were like, you know what? It's going to get tough to get booked on a bigger show, but we believe in you. We love your work, your shorts. You know, all I had was just smaller stuff. I didn't have big credits. From there, Blumhouse was like, I think my third general. Not many generals at studios I've had. In the conversation, I found out that they wanted to make a Mexican border crossing story. That's really specific. So I said, have you seen my border crossing horror short? They watched it, they called me back, I pitched, and here I am today. Like, I still don't know what's going on. Like, I still wake up and I'm like, what's going on? But it's amazing. And again, like she said, you have to go 100%. If an opportunity arises, you just have to keep going with it. Mm-hmm. Keep going with it and just keep finding who you are as a filmmaker. Even if you're not ready right away, it's okay. But you have to be honest and you have to stay humble.
And you have to love it enough to do like 8 hours after you've worked your 10-hour day at that day job that you don't love.
You have to
but you're going to come home and you're going to stay up till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, you come home and you're
submit
still
to
working.
festivals, schedule your Facebook posts, do your tweeting, get on your Instagram,
it's a job.
edit your pictures, send out your
job.
press releases. And you wake up in the morning and you go to that shitty job that you don't like and you're going to do it for 12 hours. And then you come home and you repeat it again.
We don't all have money for insane publicists and all that jazz yet. Well, let's hope. But, you know, like she said, just do it. You have the time. If you put your mind to it, you have the time. So I'm excited, guys. I really can't wait.
Now, before we get into a couple questions from the lovely Patreons, because this is a Patreon-funded show, thank you guys. That being said, what is your #1 piece of advice to anybody out there wanting to make films?
I would definitely say that do not be afraid of failure. No matter where you are in the world or who you are, the biggest advice I can give is don't be afraid of failure. Use it. Whatever happens to that thing you make, finish it. And if it fails, use it as another reason to learn from it. Learn from your mistakes and just keep making stuff. Because that is the only way you're just gonna get better. But you can't be afraid of it.
True. Very true. Okay, so now we're going to get into some questions from the lovely Patreons.
Yay!
The first couple are from Terry Smith. So Terry wants to know what the status is on El Gigante, the feature, and if Luchagor, is adapting any other Shane McKenzie stories in the near future.
We have a lot of cool things with Shane McKenzie right now, which I can't say. But thanks to this Culture Shock film, my goal was to always bring my team into Hollywood a little bit, even if Culture Shock's a little smaller, these opportunities are happening. So stay tuned because there's a lot of cool things coming up with Shane, myself, and the Luchagor team. And El Gigante, that's still going to be a dream to make happen. That is nothing close to us giving up on El Gigante. It's going to happen. I have faith. That's why the short is not even online still, because we're trying to make this into a feature. So, Terry, I promise you we're working on it.
Another good one from Terry. What film had the greatest impact on you and your vision?
Like Children of Men, 100% changed my life.
From Matthew Solomon. Are there any plans for releasing Luchagor's work on DVD or Blu for us physical media lovers? He would love to see a collection of shorts, or I'm going to pronounce that wrong again.
Yeah.
He'd definitely buy it.
That's a cool idea. We've actually been considering doing like a DVD of Luchagor compilation and just put all our stuff on it. we've been thinking about that. We might text Rainer so I don't forget.
Yeah, you definitely should.
There, I put a reminder. I think that's a really good idea because we've been considering it. Again, we have so many shorts.
Do you do behind the scenes when you're filming the shorts?
Yeah, we have everything.
So you could probably do like behind the scene featurettes with each of the shorts, which could also be really awesome.
I think that'd be really. There we go. There we go.
I would watch that. I love behind the scenes. I think it's as much fun, if not more, about the times in the movie.
I think we might do that. I like this idea.
We could also like film some kind of drinking game commentary, which is like
yes,
yes.
Guys, part 2 is not gonna be this simple. Part 2, we're gonna do some
cocktails.
Yes.
Okay, and another question.
And Mexican food.
Hold on. Do you have any film fest or convention appearances planned for this year, especially East Coast?
Well, not yet, but I'd love to. I mean, in June, I'm going to, I just can't give too much information, but June is a big month for Culture Shock because we're going to Austin, Chicago, and a big thing here in LA for the month of June. So those are the 3 places I'll be at coming up soon. But other than that, nothing quite planned yet.
Awesome. We're going to do rapid fire as a secondary part of this, so stay tuned for that. Is there anything else you would like to leave with the audience? I'm going to link everything down below. Anything you want to say? The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, thank you, girl, for having me here. I'm excited to come back on this channel again because we're going to do some like Mexican fiesta things, and I'm gonna teach her how to be Mexican. So you should all watch what she goes through. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. And again, if you are somebody that wants to be a filmmaker or a storyteller, just don't be afraid and tell your stories in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's just writing, whether it's you videotaping yourself, tell a story and just never give up on it because things are very, very possible, but it all takes passion, heart, and dedication. So follow me at Jorge Guerrero on Instagram or my team at Luchagor Film or Luchagor Productions. I'm everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so I have a lot of good news coming up, so stay tuned.
Bye. Oh, and also don't forget to like button down below and also subscribe, 10 billion points, if you join the Patreon.